everyone, I'm Dr. Ahmadai Shakur. 50 Cent is set to do a documentary about Diddy and all of these allegations against him. Let's get into it. According to page 6, a 50 who's had a decades-long on and off feud with Diddy is training his production house on doing this documentary on the embattled bad boy mogul.
50 Cent has announced that he will be executive producing the documentary on Diddy. Surviving Diddy, Too Much Brother Love Can Cost You.
Okay, so it looks like 50 Cent is not easing up on Diddy anytime soon. And every time we think that he could be easing up on the pressure he is putting on Diddy, he pulls a major move that leaves us confused. Well, this time he is now coming up with a list of rappers with whom Diddy engaged in freak-off sessions. And heads up, the list is longer than you think because it turns out that your faves have been involved in some seriously freaky stuff with Diddy. Chilly, 50 Cent's documentary is going to be fire, y'all, and I can't wait.
I've never been a bigger fan of 50 Cent. Not only is 50 Cent working on a Diddy documentary, but all the proceeds will benefit SA victims.
50 Cent is on a mission, and once again, he has Diddy in the crosshairs of his relentless trolling spree. 50 is known to be something of a major troll, but it looks like he means serious business when it comes to Diddy, because he has kept his foot on Diddy's neck since several women came out to speak on Diddy's alleged bad behavior and also file lawsuits against him. But 50 Cent isn't just satisfied with the legal drama, because he is now claiming to have the inside scoop on Diddy's secret shenanigans. Cassie's lawsuit introduced us to the wild world of Diddy's beloved pastime, which he referred to as freak-offs. Well, 50 is now going the extra mile to claim that male escorts were not the only men who were present at the freak-offs, because some of your favorite rappers were also there. For some context, Cassie, Diddy's ex, who he dated for about 11 years, spilled the tea in a lawsuit that she filed about a month ago. And girl, Cassie's lawsuit had some serious piping hot tea. Cassie dropped bombshells, accusing Diddy of putting her through a decade-long roller coaster of abuse. According to her, Diddy wasn't just your regular boyfriend. He was more like a puppet master orchestrating a disturbing show. We're talking drugs, physical assaults, and some seriously unsettling activities involving multiple male escorts, all while Diddy watched and enjoyed the scene. Now, the Cassie Diddy situation started back in 2005 when she was just 19, and it finally came crashing down in 2018. Of course, Diddy denied the allegations, but people don't believe him, which isn't surprising given the many allegations that have been made against him. For a couple of weeks now, people have been wondering why the police have never opened an investigation into Diddy. I mean, the things that Cassie said in her lawsuit were so bad, and a lot of it edged into criminal activity. Well, word on the streets is that Diddy has the police in his pocket, and his influence is the reason that he has managed to stay out of legal trouble. Speaking of Cassie's lawsuit against Diddy, it's truly disturbing to say the least, because the allegations that were brought against him are so wild that they almost seem unreal. The court documents went on and on about some really dark stuff, talking about how Cassie was basically a prisoner in the relationship. According to Cassie, she wasn't just in a messed up relationship, she was essentially trafficked by Diddy to act out his wild fantasies, which he referred to as freak-offs. Cassie had no input about the freak-offs, because Diddy forced her to participate in the freak-offs, whether she wanted to or not. Diddy hired male escorts, flew them out, and had them wear masks before engaging in the freak-offs. She also revealed that Diddy would play director during the freak-offs, telling her what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. The venues for these escapades were always some fancy and high-end locations, like the Trump International Hotel in the heart of New York City. Cassie also claimed that Diddy had this weird fascination with watching her get intimate with other guys, and apparently he chose some ritzy locations for his front row seat to the weirdness. You know, because as a billionaire, he had to have the best of the best even for his freak-offs. According to the lawsuit, the first time, Mr. Combs hired a man and brought the man to his home in Los Angeles. The man, Mr. Combs, and Ms. Ventura wore masquerade masks and ingested drugs. Mr. Combs directed Ms. Ventura to perform intimate acts with this man while Mr. Combs watched them. He got off to it while he directed Ms. Ventura and the man to do specific intimate acts. The entire encounter lasted multiple days. Mr. Combs began to call the arrangement a freak-off, or FO. He would repeatedly tell Ms. Ventura at random moments that he wanted an FO, and Ms. Ventura was eventually expected to facilitate the location and the hiring of male escorts. But that's not all, because Diddy also used used to force her to use drugs before the freak-offs. She said, Mr. Combs always supplied Ms. Ventura and the escort with copious amounts of drugs before and during the FOs. Ms. Ventura was given ecstasy, cocaine, GHB, ketamine, marijuana, and alcohol in excessive amounts during FOs, which allowed her to disassociate during these horrific encounters. It became commonplace to get IV fluids in the days after an FO to recover from the excessive substances pushed upon her. Ms. Ventura was required to dress up in lingerie for an FO, and Mr. Combs insisted she wear white nail polish to contrast her nails with the skin of the black men he hired to be intimate with her. She also revealed that he did so many things to keep her under his control, like forcing her to carry his gun in her purse for no other reason than because he could. The document said, on at least 2 occasions, Mr. Combs demanded that Ms. Ventura hold Mr. Combs' gun in her purse. Ms. Ventura had no familiarity with guns and was petrified that the firearm would accidentally go off in her purse. There was no clear reason why Mr. Combs required her to hold his guns, except to reinforce to his young girlfriend that he was violent, powerful, and dangerous. This was weird, but according to 50 Cent, Cassie left out a lot of things in the lawsuit, like the fact that Diddy had other men in the freak-offs. Now, we don't know for sure if the freak-offs with Cassie were the same freak-offs that Diddy had with the rappers, but that didn't stop 50 from spilling even more tea, and he dragged Jay-Z into it. Ever since the bombshell news about Cassie suing Diddy dropped, 50 Cent has been on a mission to spill all the messy details, and recently he took it up a notch by revealing Jay-Z's alleged involvement in Diddy's controversial escapades. Now, we all know Diddy and Jay-Z are tighter than tight. I mean, Diddy even revealed that only his mom and Jay-Z get the privilege of calling him by his first name, Sean.
There's only one person.
Oh, go on.
And I call him Sean. That's Jay-Z. We call each other Sean.
Okay.
Yeah. Nobody else could call me Sean.
He's the only person who's Sean approved.
There's not a single person that
outside
should be,
of family.
That should be outside of my mother.
Okay, just
that should be calling me. Yeah, they should be calling me Sean.
They've got this strong bond, but now 50 Cent is suggesting that maybe, just maybe, there's more to Diddy and Jay-Z's connection than what meets the eye. Yeah, he's hinting that their bromance might have some shady undertones. It's not surprising to see why 50 Cent would drag Jay-Z into this, because if there is one person that he seems to have some major feud with outside of Diddy, it's Jay-Z, and they've had their fair share of beef spanning over 2 decades. There was a time when 50 straight up accused Jay of buying his way to the top, arguing that there's no real competition because Jay-Z is just using his deep pockets to stay ahead. Also, 50 has spoken about how he finds it all kinds of strange that Jay-Z likes to refer to himself as Jesus. Back in a 2009 Rolling Stone interview, 50 Cent spilled the beans about Jay's king complex, practically claiming to be the Messiah. He said he has a king complex, he thinks he's effing Jesus. You know what I mean? This Jehovah-ish. I'm just watching him. He said something one time I didn't like. Those little things, subliminal things. For me, that's the punk way to do things. To top it off, 50 seemed to throw some shade at Jay, accusing him of betraying those close to him, like the former Rockefeller artist Beanie Siegel. According to 50, Jay wasn't exactly looking out for the team. He was more about whatever it took to line his own pockets. It's not just 50 Cent who is saying this. There are a whole lot of people who think Jay-Z might have left a trail of destruction on his way to the top. Uncle Ron, who claims to be Beyoncé's bodyguard, spilled the tea, claiming that Jay-Z and Beyoncé have been less than gentle with those who dared to speak out against them. According to Uncle Ron, Jay-Z's success story involves sidelining folks who played a part in his come-up, like Biggie, Beanie Siegel, and Freeway.
Beyonce and Jay-Z will do anything to destroy anyone who speaks out against them. Okay, I get the threats. But you have to remember one thing. I know your deepest secrets. I know so much about you and what you've done. I know so much on how you got where you are. How you stepped on many people.
But hold up, because there's more to this situation, because Jaguar Wright also had some things to say about Diddy and Jay-Z. She hinted at some shady stuff happening in Jay-Z's inner circle, pointing out figures like Big L, implying that their stories ended in tragedy because F Jay-Z. This whole situation kind of mirrors the rumors surrounding Diddy, and it's like deja vu because both Jay-Z and Diddy seem to have this pattern where their associates either meet ultimately ends or mysteriously fade away from the limelight.
The first time I ever saw Jay-Z or even heard him spit a rhyme was at an MC battle, street battle in New York. But he didn't show up as Jay-Z. He didn't show up as the hottest rapper on the street. He showed up as the nigga that was with Big L.
Rest
For
in
those
peace.
of you,
Rest in peace, Big L.
rest in peace, Big L.
One of the
That was the
dopest. One of the
sensei.
dopest. Yes.
Big L was who put Jay-Z on.
Without question.
And then Big L died, and then the next thing you know, Jay-Z. And
Then we also have Kanye West and the wild secrets that he exposed about some powerhouses in the industry, including Diddy and Jay-Z. Kanye claimed that Diddy and Jay-Z are puppets in the grand scheme of Hollywood elites. And if you're wondering why Kanye was spilling the tea so confidently, he claimed that it's because, unlike him, he never unalived anyone for the Hollywood elites or did some shady stuff for them, and that's why they have nothing to hold over his head. Kanye is yet another person to link Jay-Z and Diddy. But hold on, because it gets even deeper than that. Jaguar Wright wasn't done talking about Diddy and Jay-Z's weird relationship because she talked about some shady situations involving both men and had people questioning the dynamic between the two men after she hinted that they were involved in some intimate actions, if you know what I mean.
doing songs with Biggie and building a working, camaraderie with Honeycombs and AKA Diddy. And
Why do you give him the honeycombs? Why do you give him honeycombs?
because he smacks so sweet. That fucking sodomite. Anyway,
Okay, so back to 50 Cent. According to reports, 50 Cent has been talking about how Diddy is not the only one who has shady dealings in the industry because Jay-Z has managed to get away with a crazy amount of stuff that should have gotten him canceled. 50 pointed out how weird it was that Jay-Z was messing around with Foxy Brown when Foxy was only 14 and Jay-Z was well in his 20s at the time, and he called Jay-Z out for allegedly grooming Foxy until she landed in his bed. Then there's Aaliyah, who, according to 50, was also groomed by Jay-Z's friend R. Kelly. And let's not forget Jay-Z's admission that he knew Beyonce for a decade, implying they might have crossed paths when Queen Bey was 15 or 16. But the drama doesn't stop there. Conspiracy theories have long swirled around Jay-Z's potential involvement in Aaliyah's tragic death after she reportedly turned down his advances. Dame Dash even claimed Jay-Z was aware of R. Kelly's illegal marriage to Aaliyah at 15 but continued to associate with him. Aaliyah unfortunately passed away in a plane crash in 2001, and a couple of months later, Jay-Z went public with Beyonce. Now here's where it gets even more intense. Rumors are flying about alleged all-male freak-offs involving Jay-Z and Diddy. In an interview, Diddy's bodyguard, Gene Deal, revealed that Diddy was an active participant in the freak-off, not just a spectator like Cassie's lawsuit made him out to be.
And she say that, in this lawsuit that, Diddy, he enjoyed watching her get smashed by BBCs. So, what you think about that?
Do you think she was the only one getting banged by him? Do you think this man had this woman search for prostitutes online just for them to have sex with her?
50 Cent also shared a video of him on stage with Diddy and Jay-Z, capturing the moment Diddy playfully slapped Jay-Z's butt. Yeah, that's just all shades of creepy, and it kind of makes us wonder what Jay-Z and Diddy might be getting up to behind closed doors. According to 50 Cent, there is more going on between Jay-Z and Diddy than we know, including alleged freak-off sessions. 50 claims that when Diddy slapped Jay-Z, he had forgotten himself and didn't even remember that they were on stage in front of thousands of people. But as it turns out, Jay-Z is not the only superstar involved because a couple more of your faves were doing the same thing, including Will Smith. Diddy and Will Smith have been great friends for a couple of years now, and according to 50 Cent, some of the activities they were involved in were not exactly friendly because they crossed over into the freaky zone, if you catch my drift. Like Diddy, rumors of Will Smith being on the DL have been around for a hot minute, and Alexis Arquette even revealed that Will's first marriage to Cherie Zampino ended because Cherie caught him in bed with a man. Alexis wrote, "When Jada comes out as gay and her beard husband admits his first marriage ended when she walked into him, servicing his sugar daddy Benny Medina, then I will listen to them." She being his first wife, paid off, silent. Alexis wasn't the last person who accused Will of being on the DL because Trisha Paytas came all out to accuse him of SA when she claimed that Will allegedly forced her male dancers to sleep with him.
How about worry about your cheating husband fucking my male dancers, when they didn't want to? How about talk about that?
Diddy, on the other hand, has been the subject of so much talk from men in the industry about him trying to force them into freak-off situations. Gene spilled the tea on Diddy's escapades with men.
And he said, yo, Gene, watch the door, don't let nobody come through here. And I said I watched the door. If I watched the door and him and a man ran out naked, and I said that, ain't nobody told me that. I saw that myself.
Rapper Exhibit also revealed that Diddy once took him to a gay bar, and he was so shook that he snuck out of the bar and ran home.
We go down and get a drink. You know, we sitting there bopping to the music, and then she point over the corner. It's two dudes kissing. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay. Then it's girls in the club too. And then she pointed another direction. It's another dude over there like.
The Game also threw shade at Diddy when he hinted that Diddy uses women to hide his real sexuality. He hinted that Diddy was a DL rapper who tries to hide his sexuality by being a womanizer or having multiple kids with different baby mamas. Oh, and let's not even get started on 50 Cent and how he has been keeping his foot on Diddy's neck, steadily exposing Diddy over the years. There was a time he shaded Diddy on IG and said, "Sorry, I can no longer help you guys. Soon you will all be gay and happy. You are all now left under the leadership of Putty Daddy. Report to the nearest rainbow." There's also the time he went on The Breakfast Club and said that Diddy was fruity.
When he do it, he says things, he doesn't even know what he's saying is like fruity.
50 Cent also claimed that Diddy once tried to take him shopping and that he found it to be really weird.
So yo, when we gonna get the chance to, to kick it, like we can just hang out? We gotta kick it.
This is
Puff.
Okay.
He telling me we gotta kick it. He's like, yo, why don't we like go shopping or something? I mean, like I pay for it. And I was like, this just saying.
If there's one person who keeps his foot right on Diddy's neck, it's 50 Cent, and he has never shied away from speaking on Diddy and his activities. 50 even talked about how Diddy made videos of Cassie during the freak-offs and then shipped the videos around to other people in the industry, even 50 Cent.
The nigga Puff, like he called, we should kick it on the telephone and shit, after the Meek shit.
Right.
And the nigga be like, matter of fact, they sent me the girl pictures of this girl, like, not the shit that y'all saw. Worse, way worse.
Wow. Oh, you kidding me up?
Like penetration pictures and
Nah, come on, man. Come on, Fifth.
50 Cent claimed that he reached out to Diddy to let him know that a bad video of Cassie was making its rounds and asked Diddy to handle it, but Diddy wasn't exactly bothered by it. 50 also claimed that from Diddy's response, he could tell that Diddy was the one who had been sending the videos around.
I really kind of felt like those photographs was not happening because of Cassie. I felt like they was happening because of Puffy.
Right. Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? Because when a girl moves from a man and she upgrades, niggas be insecure, you know what I'm saying?
If Diddy sent the video to 50 Cent, who he was beefing with, can you imagine who else would have seen the videos? Yeah, that's messed up big time. Jaguar Wright also revealed another rapper who Diddy forced into freak-offs, and she name-dropped Meek Mill.
Yeah.
They're both bisexual. They do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house fucking screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mills. Bashir Gray left that house fucking screaming. August the only one that stayed, and I guess he was really sick. He needed the help.
50 also claimed that Diddy also allegedly engaged in some freak-offs with Harv Peer, who was once the president of Bad Boy Records. Yeah, this one isn't so shocking, especially because Harv was named as one of the co-defenders in Diddy's 4th lawsuit when an anonymous woman, Jane Doe, claimed that the two men, in addition to a third, unnamed man, allegedly SA'd her, and then they forced her into a freak-off. The document said, when she was just a teenager, Ms. Doe met Mr. Pierre and the third assailant in a lounge in the Detroit, Michigan area. While at the lounge, Mr. Pierre insisted that he was best friends with Mr. Combs and even called Mr. Combs with Ms. Doe. Mr. Combs convinced Ms. Doe, who was half his age at the time, to accompany Mr. Pierre and the third assailant on a private jet to come to his studio in New York City. Before they left for the private jet, Mr. Pierre smoked crack cocaine in a bathroom at the lounge, in which he also SA'd Ms. Doe by forcing her to give him oral action. The documents went on to say that, on the evening in question, Ms. Doe was with friends in a lounge when she was approached by who she later learned was Mr. Pierre. Mr. Pierre was with his own friends, including the third assailant. Mr. Pierre, the third assailant, and their friends were dressed in suits. Mr. Pierre repeatedly complimented Ms. Doe's appearance, saying that she was hot, among other things. He then began talking about his self-described best friend and brother, Mr. Combs. Specifically, Mr. Pierre continually stated that Mr. Combs would love to meet Ms. Mr. Pierre even called Mr. Combs Combs and put Ms. Doe on the line. Mr. Combs told Ms. Doe that he would love to meet her and that she should accompany Mr. Pierre to New York City in a private jet. The lawsuit then claimed that Diddy asked Harv to bring Jane over to New York in the private jet, after which things quickly got very bad for Jane Doe. E-documents went on to say that Mr. Pierre, third assailant, and another gentleman then escorted the high schooler to a private jet, which flew them to Teterboro, New Jersey. There were SUVs awaiting the group at Teterboro, and the four of them were driven to Daddy's House Recording Studio, a studio famously owned and operated by Mr. Combs and Bad Boy. While at the studio, Mr. Combs and his associates, including Mr. Pierre, plied Ms. Doe with substances. As the night wore on, the 17-year-old Ms. Doe became more and more inebriated, eventually to the point that she could not possibly have consented to having intimacy with anyone, much less someone twice her age. It continued. While at the studio, Ms. Doe was SA'd by Mr. Combs, the third assailant, and Mr. Pierre, in that order. While Mr. Combs was SA'ing Ms. Doe, he complained that he could not get off unless she pinched his nipples as hard as she could. Mr. Combs then watched on as third assailant, whom Ms. Doe had not even realized had begun, SA'd Ms. Doe as she told him to stop. After third assailant was finished, Mr. Pierre took his turn and then forced her to give him oral action, during which Ms. Doe was choking and struggling to breathe. The lawsuit also said, when Mr. Pierre finished, he left Ms. Doe in the bathroom alone. Ms. Doe fell into the fetal position and lay on the floor. Her privates were in pain. Finally, after a period of time, Ms. Doe regained her bearings. However, she could barely stand up and had to be helped to walk out of the building and back into a car. She was taken back to an airport and flown back to Michigan. However, she has very limited recollection of her transport home and only remembers being in her car sometime early in the morning. That was not the first time that Harvey was accused of allegedly SA'ing a woman, because he was sued for allegedly SA'ing an employee of Bad Boy Records back when he was the president of the label. According to reports, the lawsuit filed in New York Supreme Court accuses Harv Pierre, a former president of Bad Boy Entertainment and Bad Boy Records, of engaging in a year-long pattern of grooming the unnamed assistant, leading to SH of plaintiff and SA from approximately 2016 to 2017. Pierre SA'd plaintiff on multiple occasions in New York City and other locations throughout the country. However, a representative of the company released a statement saying, "The allegations are from many years ago that were never brought to the attention of the company. Neither the plaintiff nor the executive are current employees of the company. We are now investigating the allegations, and our top priority is the safety and well-being of our employees." But according to 50 Cent, that wasn't the last time that Diddy and Harvey Pierre were involved in freak-off sessions, because it was allegedly something that they liked to do regularly with each other and with other people. Chile, this situation is crazy, and according to 50 Cent, he is going to be spilling even more tea in the documentary that he is making. He claims that the documentary isn't just about Diddy's alleged SA cases, but also Diddy's shady secrets as well, including the details of his freak-offs and his freak-off partners. Fans had a lot to say about 50 Cent's new revelations, and they left comments saying, "I don't doubt 50 has a self-interested angle on this. That doesn't necessarily detract from the altruism or truth of what he asserts. 50 has a code. He has said nothing about would never cross M. Diddy seems to literally and metaphorically F everyone around him. 50 is coming for everybody. I'm here for all of it. As my great-grandmother would say, watch the company you keep. Birds of a feather flock together. And I'm gone, leave it there. Let that marinate. And love 50 for speaking the truth. Too many people are blinded by dollar signs. There's a lot to unpack here, so y'all let me know what you think about this situation. What do you think about Diddy's freak-offs with other rappers? Drop your thoughts in the comments, then check out this next video.